Thanks for dropping in. In this short video, we'll assess sales performance for two service providers utilizing Excel-based tools coming off of your Millennium system. Also, we'll predict their future performance. In just seconds, you can complete this analysis easily, quickly, and objectively. Let's take a look at our service providers. We have two great long-term service providers, Alice and Betty. They get along very well with everyone. Clients love them. So why do you want to compare their service sales growth? There's at least three different reasons. One is to use it in the appraisals, that being monthly, quarterly, mid-year, annually, and then maybe also giving them bonuses and also other team members. You might want to use this information for comparing their promotional track of these two fine young ladies. Additionally, you would like to try to understand and utilize this information for their individual sales forecast as well as your overall business future plans. The information that you're getting off the Millennium system could be easily obtained for sales through the monitoring screen simply by adding the time period that would be the end of each year and the corresponding team member, or you could simply just have a planned or downloaded report such as your commission sales summary. Each one of those gives you great information so that you can take that and put it into a spreadsheet. An Excel spreadsheet is what we're seeing here. We have team member Alice, team member Betty right here, and we're having the years that they've been with us. With our pre-formatted template, all you need to do is to enter their names, their start and year, and respective sales. After that, we can look at the data and then make modifications that make good decisions because you have great local information. That is, if they have maternity leave, personal leave, or maybe just had a very short year. What we're going to do is to take this data for each one of them and instantly load it into this spreadsheet and see what the data is telling us. So the first thing that we're going to do is Alice started with us in 2007 and then Betty started in 2009. Now we'll take the downloaded information, again coming off of systems information such as the monitoring screen or reports, and then populate each column for the respective sales team member. Here's the information for Alice. We can see that the corresponding graph has been automatically populated and gives us a good information with regard to what her performance is. We can see a very strong upward trend, which is good, except for here, and we'll just talk about that in just a second. So that's for Alice. We have some statistical information here that you might not be familiar with, but it does give you exceedingly great information, and again, we'll talk about that in a second. First of all, let's populate Betty's data. We can see that here's her data right here in this graph, and we can see that she has some gaps here. The reason for that is that she had a family leave for approximately 3 years, and we're going to make that adjustment in the sales. But let's take a look at it right now. We have Alice right here, and right now she's been with us for 10 years, and the difference between, we need to adjust that. But right now, this line here, we're going to take and call what's a statistical term is called smoothing. We're going to get the first years of their employment with us. We're going to take that and delete that. So we're going to get rid of that. We'll get rid of that for her, and we'll get rid of that for her. And this factor here, this R squared, that's a prediction factor. Ideally, we want it at 1.0. Right now, we can see that it's at 7.5, which is really a strong factor. Just from a rule of thumb, is if it's above 0.5, That means it's a strong predictor of performance. Right now we have Betty, it's below that 0.5, and we're going to make some adjustments to get that up. As we said that she was gone for a couple of years here, and let's take a look and see how that factor has gone up. If we take and eliminate those, it's gone up to 0.9. Again, if it was a perfect relationship, it would be 1.0. So that means we're very, very happy and have high confidence in this model right here predicting her sales performance. Now let's take a look at the team member Alice. She started out and was working comparable hours from the years 2008 until about 2014. She backed off her hours in 2015, so we're going to back those out right now. So we're going to delete those last 2 years, and here's her line. You can see that the dots are being very close to that formulated prediction line, that dotted line. If we take a look at her factor now, again, the ideal factor is 1.0, and now she's almost perfect at that. Now the question is, which one has the greatest service growth? And we can take a look at that right down here. We have 5 years that Betty's been with us, and after making those adjustments, and then we have 7 dots, 7 years that Alice has been with us. So if we take a look at that, what their average gain has been over that time period, and then we divide that, we have, that's actually wrong there. We'll just make a quick adjustment there. I'll make errors, I guess. Okay, so we just made that adjustment right now. And so that if we take a look at the 7 years that are what we'll say are stable and presentable and predictable, team member Alice has 27.3 annual growth, and then we have team member Betty at 10.2. So it's clear that the growth of Alice has been more consistent. It's been greater than what Betty's is at this point in time. It's important to understand that, and now what we can do is to take a look at future growth. And if we take a look at the year 2020, we can say that Alice is going to be giving us $270,000 in sales, as opposed to $158,000 for team member Betty. So if you take a look at this and answer the question, which one would be promotable, it would probably be Alice, because she is giving us more consistent growth, and additionally in the future, and that's the more important thing, is that her performance is going to be outpacing her colleague Betty. So in closing here, I hope you've enjoyed the music. That was furnished by Brooks Hubbard, a New England musician who is making it in Nashville. Please check his Facebook page. This is a representative song called Summer Girl, and please check out the postings that we have at Max Info Spa Salon, because we'll be addressing many issues that are data-based that all of us within the wellness and the beauty industry are facing day after day, and more importantly, overall, a strategic standpoint. So check back often, and hopefully you've enjoyed this little video.
My summer girl.